Okay, it's a Monday, and of course, there's always so many things to discuss from over the weekend. I was all set to talk about something completely different. Then I saw something online this morning. I was just like, you know what? I think this deserves some attention. So on a particular blog, it shows a story of a particular woman who sends out her 17-year-old daughter, sends her packing.
Oh, sends her packing.
Sends her packing.
I thought it was on an errand. Okay.
Yeah, sends her packing for refusing to cook for her 20-year-old brother in the U.S. Now they're black family. You know, I can't tell if they're a Nigerian family. Okay. I just know they're a black family for now.
Okay.
But from the video I was seeing, her brother was just gaming. I don't know whether it was PS or Xbox or whatever. His room was a mess. And the girl was ranting about the fact that she's been cleaning the house all day. She's been doing all this all day. And she refuses to cook for this 20-year-old who can actually cook for himself. She's 17. And then she was actually in fear of her mom arriving at the house and noting that she hadn't yet cooked for her brother. Now, this was real. Like, it wasn't like, oh, a joke, or she was trying her mom, or she was going to test her mom out. This was real, genuine anguish.
Who was recording all this angst?
No, she had her phone on. She had her phone on at the time. Her brother proceeded to push profanities out there.
Okay.
But there was then another story that was sort of tallies with what this generation think about the whole cooking for your man or men generally. How it is. So this one goes like this. If my refusal to cook for my husband spells the end of a marriage, then let it be. You know, now a particular state governor's daughter says this to her marriage counselor. So this mindset of the men just lounging and sitting back and not getting things done, especially in the kitchen, not cooking in the kitchen, I don't know. I thought this was something we had moved on from.
I want to know what Mike's thoughts is.
Hey, what do you want to know?
No, I actually want to know.
I don't have thoughts.
No, why don't you have a thought?
You want to talk, you're asking me what my thoughts is. They do what works for them now. I don't get it. If you lounge and you provide, what's your problem if it works for the woman? They put that one to cook. I don't think it's an issue.
You don't think it's an issue?
It shouldn't be an issue. There are women that want to cook, and there are women that love to cook.
Okay.
And there are men that love to lounge.
Okay. So where do you stand on this?
Stand on where?
Which one are you? Are you one of the lounging or one of the ones that like to cook?
I don't cook. It doesn't matter. My point is, if the lady said, the statement doesn't even make sense. If my husband, before you became a husband, why didn't you know what you wanted?
Okay.
What is if my husband wants me to cook? So before you got into the marriage, you were not cooking, and then you got into the marriage, and he wants you to cook.
Is she talking about futuristic?
And you're talking about, I don't get.
So from what I saw on the post, there was a wedding picture there.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that the wedding has already happened.
Okay.
But marriage counselor is the person she's talking to here.
Okay, so if she's talking to a marriage counselor,
yeah,
it means that there's divorce proceeding already. Yeah, in most cases, when you're tired of your marriage and you file for a divorce, you would always have to see a marriage counselor to see if the marriage could be salvaged. And it takes the discretion of the marriage counselor to advise the courts as to whether the the divorce should proceed or not.
Yeah.
So if they are seeing a marriage counselor, it means that things have really deteriorated. Now, to the issue of cooking. So I've always believed that people make a lot of fuss over trivial things in marriage. I know these things that we call trivial might be big deal to many people.
Okay.
But for goodness sake, if you weigh the pros and cons of marriage, usually people regret things after the marriage has ended. When they realize, oh, I could have overlooked this. Oh, I could have tolerated this a bit more. That's usually the case. People forget that the other person is also tolerating certain things about you. So if you say you don't want to cook and you are with a man that loves food, what is the solution?
Okay.
Nobody cares whether you cook or not. It's not a problem if he's insistent that you should cook. Then you guys will have to have a dialogue. But the most important thing is food being served to him, and is it home-cooked meal? Home-cooked in the sense that you're not buying restaurant foods that you probably can tell that is mass-produced.
Mary, I'm a bit concerned about the fact that you've not actually even considered the fact that he can, you know, use the cooking equipment, you know, get a pot out of the cupboard, rinse the rice, even if it's just to warm the stew from the fridge. I don't understand. Wait, that's not part of the conversation yet?
Current mothers are obliged to raise their children to do that because most of the past mothers missed that responsibility, and that's the truth.
So it's about how we are raising our boys.
Yes. Yeah. So current generations of mothers can do that. But if we are to be realistic, many of the men out there right now have been pampered to the teeth. Say, for example, the boy you mentioned is lounging. His sister is doing all the chores.
Yeah.
And because she did not cook, she was kicked out of the house. Why? Because her mom is trying to teach her that it's your responsibility to take care of your husband. If your husband should kick you out because you're not cooking, it's here you will learn.
Wow. But I'm a bit concerned about how we're raising these boys, these young men, I guess, and how it's being allowed to let certain life skills pass them by. So, in my opinion, there's some life skills you just have to know how to do. You have to know how to do your own laundry. You have to know how to clean your own self. You have to know how to cook. At least know how to change a light bulb. There's just some certain things that, as you're growing up, should be standard, should be on the list of things you're taught when growing up.
And all of this
why was it missed out?
Shouldn't be for boys alone. It should be for girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Girls and boys. Changing a light bulb is basic life skill.
Cooking is not a life skill.
Why isn't cooking a life skill?
Cooking is not a life skill.
How do you mean cooking is not a life skill? I don't know.
People that have never cooked in their lives, are they dead?
Wait, never cooked anything in their lives?
They are not dead.
In their lives. They've never
I'm just letting you know that's a fallacy to say it's a life skill because if it's a life skill, then you cannot survive without it. But people can survive without cooking.
That's why
you understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying now, that first of all, it's not a life skill. You're people that will survive. You will survive well. And my point is, different homes, look at our chefs. What's the percentage of male to female that we have on this show?
Wow. I've never actually thought about that.
No, think now. Okay, take like 10 seconds and think about it.
There was a time we were having 60-40
probably
in favor of guys.
Yeah.
And there are times we have 70-30 in favor of women. That's talking about.
So what I'm saying is that it's not so. I am on the page you have whereby there is, yes, at times it's more, but it's not so. The divide or the difference is not so much.
It's not actually.
Exactly. That's my point.
Okay.
So my point is not about male or female and all of that. Look, there are people who enjoy cooking.
Yeah.
For me, it's time consuming and I don't enjoy it. There are times when I've had to cook, so you understand.
But
find what works for you.
But if you are hungry and you need sustenance,
there's a time when
I've stayed, you will not go and put on the fire?
There are times when I've stayed months. I didn't cook one meal. I ordered. So what are you saying? It's not a life skill. You don't need it to survive.
Okay. So when you say you ordered,
you don't need
because
it to survive.
I want us to be very realistic here. Even when you order soups, you have to boil rice.
No, you don't order soup. You order the food as it comes. You eat. That's when you order.
But now, if you settle down and your woman says, sorry, settle down. I'm not even saying getting married. You find a life partner, someone to live with, and she says, sorry, she cannot be cooking for you.
I don't understand. Both of you order.
Wow.
Or you get a cook. You outsource it.
Nice.
That is why you outsource it now. Okay. The food that couples have never touched, they don't even know what it means for a utensil to look like. And life goes on. So for me, it is not a life skill. You don't need it as much as
so now
need
children
to
enter the picture. You're still going to order for your kids too?
For crying out loud, man. There are some people. You see, where you come from determines how you see life.
Wow. I
have come to the point whereby I have seen things and understand that, look, there are no absolutes. There are people who have, somebody came and was crying and told his father that my friends are insulting me that I come with my own car, I don't use the train. The father got angry and bought a train.
Wow.
People think differently.
Please,
wow.
And that's life.
You know what? Because you're doing everything else.
I don't know where you guys, are living in the same society, but the truth is, all these things cost money. You know what? When money is not a problem, I guess it's not a problem.
I've always said it, and I'm just going to drop it here. Marriage is more than these trivial things that you people are happy or no. Somebody cannot cook. Somebody cannot clean. Can you live together?
Let's take your thoughts. Let's take your thoughts on this. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and let's hear what you think. Tag us WakeUpNigeria TVCE on Instagram. All right then, guys. Let's take that break. We'll be back.